Ladies and gentlemen, we have yet another Valheim update for you, and today's one looks really cool. So I'm going to put a link to this down in the video description if you want to look through it for yourselves, but let's go through all the latest updates. So they start by talking about a few of the things they've added as it is summer, like the maypole, the flower crown, and of course those colourful banners. Now I already covered all this stuff in a previous video, but it is really nice to have such colourful things in the game of Valheim, in my opinion. And I am a big fan of the fact that there are some summery items in the game. I think it's really nice to have these kind of themed items that are only available for you to place at certain times in the year. Now let's speak about the Mistlands. That's what we're all here for, right? And they say here for the teaser this week, they thought they'd share something that's also a bit summer themed. We don't want the Mistlands update to only be about the Mistlands. We also want there to be some new content in the earlier gameplay leading up to the new biome. A significant such addition will be an upgrade to the fish. There will now be new types that come in different sizes, and you'll be able to mount your most impressive catches on item stands. While they're still swimming, the fish will also be able to jump above the surface to give it all an even more atmospheric touch. Have to say, I am a big fan of this. I think the oceans in Valheim are a little underutilized in terms of the atmosphere they could generate, as they sort of touch on here, and just the mobs and things they could have. I really think this is a step in the right direction, having different types of fish. I think it's going to add a lot more to the game. Basically just make the whole theme more exciting. And the fact that you can mount them, I mean, it's going to be great for decorational when we do things like fishing huts and stuff. This really will be fantastic. And just in general, I think it's a step in the right direction and something they could continue to add to as we progress through the game with, you know, future updates and things like that. I have to say though, as they're looking at fishing, one thing I would really love to see is if they would revamp the way fishing is done and make it just a little bit easier. I just find fishing in the game to be quite grindy, and you know, it's not something I really do because I just find that I don't really want to stand there for such a long time trying to fish. It's just a little bit tedious at times, but I think it could be something they could really add to in the game. I mean, for example, how cool would it be to have like a fishing boat where you could go out on the boat and maybe as such you get to deeper waters where there's different types of fish, or maybe it increases the chances of there being fish nearby or something like that, and like have a net on the side so that when you catch a fish it just goes into the net and makes it all like very simple. I think things like this could be really cool, but I am just glad to see that they're heading in a new direction with fish and adding to that. I think it's definitely a good thing for the game. And just here guys, you can see some footage of the new fish. It looks so cool, doesn't it? So yeah, as you can see there, yeah, they're all jumping around, you put them on item studs, all this sort of good stuff. It's looking awesome. All right guys, check this out. The Forge we talked about in a previous episode, and I love the way it looked then, and I am still in love with the way it looks now. So they said here they showed the concept art of the Forge, which will be part of the Mistlands update, and many speculated that what it might be made of, what you might make with it, and they said they had fun reading our theories. And to fuel our speculation, they're showing us how this looks now it's in the game, which is this image right here. Now, interestingly, you've got the little bit of water right there on the bottom right of that picture that is sort of separate to the Forge. So that did definitely get me thinking, you know, maybe this is like two pieces for the Forge. Maybe that's not something you place all in one go, and maybe each of those things, you know, has its place in the game. I guess we'll see about that. It looks to me like there's a new type of hammer being held by the Viking there as well. Maybe that is a Forge hammer, especially for the Forge, which I think would be really awesome. And if we just look at the fact that there's the lava and the coals and stuff like that there, I wonder if lava is going to be an item in the game. Maybe you have to collect the item of lava and water separately. So for example, you place down the Forge and the little water bucket there, but it's empty, and you have to go and maybe get a bucket of water to put into the Forge, water area in the bottom right, and maybe you have to go and get a bucket of lava, perhaps from Mistlands, and put that into the Forge as well in order for it to like activate and work. Now I know this is just ifs and it's just speculation and stuff like that, but guys, this would actually be huge if you think about it, because if there is lava added into the game, that's a whole new thing, which is great. But more importantly is the water, because if you can suddenly start getting water into buckets, and maybe you even have to fill the Forge, what else could that lead to in the future? I really think the utility of if you could actually transport water in your game, I think that would be absolutely huge and something really awesome to add to the game. I have no idea, I'm not saying that is what they're adding or whatever, but again, it's just fun to speculate, and as always, I welcome your guys' ideas down in the comments. All right guys, you ready for the big one? Here we go. So the spoiler's coming. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a new creature that we can encounter in the Mistlands. I have not seen this yet. This is my first genuine reaction. Let's see how it is. And hover over, and oh my goodness, wait, what? What is it? Okay, now I'm looking at the blown up version. We can see this a little bit better. And as you can see, as they said on their page, this is going to be a tick. And as I said, ticks don't quite get this big over in Sweden, which I think we're all glad about, but there we go. Now, you know what? If this is as bad as it gets, I'm happy. I just don't want spiders. This I could deal with, and it's kind of exciting. Look at his little face. It's kind of a cute little face on the dick right there. When you zoom out, it looks even cuter. You see what I mean? Like, now you've seen it, you can't unsee it. I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. Now, as always, I look at these pictures, and I'm looking for, is this showing us something more than just the tick? And the kind of obvious things, the tree over on the right-hand side, that is a new type of tree to the game, so possibly a new type of wood for the game. But I also feel like I may have spotted a little something, and this might just be my imagination running wild. But if you look on the very left-hand side, and I'll make sure I zoom in when I'm editing this, but you see this bit right here, the mountain where it's kind of just a little tiny bit shiny, that reminds me a little bit of what a copper vein looks like when you're going through the Black Forest. And so I have to wonder if there's going to be a new type of metal in the game, and if they're just like giving us a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a hint here that that is going to be a thing. And if it is, that is obviously huge because it can make many new things, including possibly this sword right here. Now, is it just me or is this a new sword, guys? I can't decide if this sword is one that already exists in the game or if it's something new. Again, let me know down in the comments. I'm sure someone will be like, Kaizen, you're an idiot, it's this or it's that. But, you know, let me know. And once again, if we zoom in on the armor here, you've got these little pouches. To me, looks like a little satchel, maybe like a little bag for food or something like that. But sometimes my imagination just gets the better of me, so it could just be that too. Now, one area I'm really interested in is this area right here. And you see here, this is sort of like, you know, it's like a stone area, like next to the cliff there. But to me, it looks like you could theoretically walk to the right-hand side of this and like walk through. Like that is an air pocket there that you could walk through with stone either side of it. And this to me would suggest the potential to do tunneling or something similar. Now, this one here is where I really think we're probably not going to have that. I don't think we're going to be able to tunnel in Valheim with this update and you know, possibly ever, or at least maybe for a very long time. The reason I say that is because it has been sort of mentioned in the past, and they've always said like, you know, it's just the way the world gens and stuff. It's not going to happen. But I love pointing these things out because you guys never let me down in the comments. Whenever I read through them, people point out stuff to me and explain things to me actually. And obviously with any sort of update like this, there's a lot of speculation. It's just really good to get that discussion going. So I always like to mention these things and then we see, you know, what everyone's thinking, I guess. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the build of the month. And I have to say, this is one of the most unique builds I think I've ever seen in Valheim. I really loved it from the second I saw it. Honestly, I'm tempted to steal this design. This is one of the best looking modern houses I've seen in Valheim. Funnily enough, I have a modern build competition going on my server right now, so I'm going to be showcasing some modern builds soon. But I tell you, this one here, I think is going to take some beating. So just want to say a huge congratulations there to GameRox22, who I really love that build. You know, fantastically well done. I'm sure everyone watching this will agree. So guys, what's your favorite thing right now in Valheim? Are you really excited for all this summary stuff you see here? Are you excited about the new fish decorations or maybe the forge? Or did this little critter right here tick your box? You know I can't help it. Whatever it is, guys, I'd love to hear down in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.